Hi, my name is Kellis Flores, and my interactive assignment was over the world of paper, so it was about paper, and it was for kindergartners. And here's my little handy binder, and in the binder I have my cover page, and in my description, and it talks about the different techniques and goals and assessments, and it was just, our description. I also included a student assessment, and that would be how I determined what the thematic unit would be about. And I included a letter for like a kickoff to the unit for parents and guardians, like just explaining what we're going to be learning, some of the activities we'd be doing. That way when their students came home from school, what you did today? Oh, I learned about paper. It explains it in depth in this paper for the parents and guardians. And here is a list of all the different techniques I would be using. And I also have them organized into where they would be used. I broke down my unit into 5 different questions that the students would be able to answer by the end of it. They would be able to answer, where does paper go when it's finished with it? Or when we are finished with it. How is paper made? How do we use paper? There's a lot of techniques you can use for that. Why do we need paper? And what are the different attributes of paper? And then there were just a list of other techniques that could be included throughout several different areas. And then I have my lesson plans, and I have a worksheet where the different types of assessments I would use, and I came up with 18 different assessments that I could use. So that's my binder. And now I'll start with, I guess, the interactive board. So I don't have really a good place to hold all my video. So for the interactive board, you can see I have a tree with a pond. The tree branches, the leaves are removable, and I also have roots that the students could place on. And in the brown and paper bags are on the side. There are lemons, apples, oranges, and then one labeled water cycle. So the students would be able to reiterate their colors or their fruits and where they go by placing them on the tree. They would also be able to place the different parts of the tree together, and then that would incorporate the activity when the students actually plant their own flower and keep it in the classroom, and then take it home to their parents or whoever. And then the pond goes with the last brown paper bag, which would be the water cycle. And inside that bag I had like different pieces of paper cut out to symbolize rain, so precipitation, evaporation, and all of those different steps of the water cycle that could be labeled. And I have a blank space because the water cycle is very complicated, so throughout the unit and throughout the lesson we would elaborate more and more. This board's also used to jumpstart the question of, where does paper come from? It comes from a tree. How can we use paper? All of this is made from recycled, well, all except the board is made from recycled paper. Next I have my math lesson. And for my math lesson, since it is kindergarten, I have 4 different colored pieces of paper, and they're all labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's almost like counting tiles, one of these equaled 4 of these. And I would have the students use a piece of paper and their pencil and draw, because at kindergarten it's kind of hard to have them write down in journals, so they can draw, and those who can write can use words. And they would draw, the students would find 5, I decided they would use 5 different objects from around the classroom. It could be anything from a stapler to their shoe to their forearm, whatever they may want to measure. And then they would use the different colored pieces of paper and record how many of each color they used. So I'd have them draw on their piece of paper, draw their shoe, and then draw 6 red or 2 green, or however many they may use. And then they would use a ruler to find that actual measurements. And then they can compare how you can measure things when you don't have a ruler, or you don't have any real unit of measurement. You can make a unit of measurement. And lastly, we have my science learning station, and it would be these 3 cups. It's an actual science experiment, so it's kind of hard to have all the materials laid out without performing it all over again. But as you can see, it's a red, a purple, and a blue cup of water. In the beginning, that middle cup of water is clear. It's regular water. And then you provide 2 strips of white paper, and you put a piece of paper from the red to the clear and from the blue to the clear, and over time the dye in each cup will absorb through the water, turn the paper color, and go into the middle cup and change the color of the middle cup. This is great because it shows how, the chemicals changing from the color dye moving from one cup to the other, but it also shows that blue and red make purple, which helps with their art teams. So I hope you loved my thematic unit over paper. If you have any questions, just email me. Thanks. Have a great day.